Godzilla vs Kong. It is going to be filled with spoilers. This review. I need to talk about some things, which is going to be hard because I find that the more time goes from having seen this, the less I remember. It's kind of like that. So this is the fourth movie in the franchise. I've only seen two of the previous ones, the Godzilla and Godzilla King of the Monsters. I don't really give a shit about King Kong, and wasn't really clear to my brain that it was related until like close to the release of this movie. My sister's like, yeah, you probably should have seen that, and I was like, eh. At the end of the day, it didn't really matter if you'd seen any of the movies previous. You could just jump in on this one; it'll be fine. Also, you might jump out after seeing this one too. Now, it's a Marvel team up, and if you know what I mean when I say that, you might be like, yeah, it is a Marvel team up. But if you don't, a Marvel team up, at least in the comics, is stereotypically two heroes going at it, and then realize they shouldn't be going at it. They should be going at it against that third party, and then they go at it with him. And then at the end, it's all like, hey, we respect each other, dude. Yeah, all right. And that's pretty much the plot of this. And you don't have to wait too long to figure out who the big bad's going to be. As soon as I saw the word cybernetics at the start, I'm like, oh, Mechagodzilla. Okay, cool. And it takes forever to get to friggin' Mechagodzilla. This movie's really slow. It's slow to the point where, alright, the Kong side of the stuff feels like well written with decent characters and stuff. It gets kind of stupid really quick. But they put more time and effort into the Kong side of the stuff than the Godzilla side. Because all the stuff with Millie Bobby Brown and her friend and this podcast dude that does conspiracy podcasts, that they're all going and investigating and all this kind of stuff, you could cut that subplot out of the movie and you wouldn't miss anything. Like, they add nothing to the story, really. Especially since, like, you already know it's leading to Mechagodzilla. You could just have the reveal be the thing opens and it's like, there he is. And you're like, oh shit. Yeah. So one half of the movie didn't feel as well, I don't know, crafted or thought out as the other half. And then the other half, the Kong half, starts off being really interesting and then gets really fucking stupid. Now, I don't know much about Godzilla lore, but Hollow Earth, I was like, what? Like, that could be a whole movie. Godzilla, Hollow Earth. Instead, they do it for like 20 minutes in this, and the reason being the bad guys need some kind of power signature so they can change the frequency. And okay, so that's going to help you. I don't know, man. It's one of those movies where if you scratch your head and you think about it, it's it unravels. And you're like, Luke, why are you being so nitpicky to a giant monster movie? All you want to see is giant monsters punch each other. I'm like, yeah, all the monster stuff is great when they're punching each other, when they're messing about in Hong Kong with the neon buildings and shit. It all looks really cool. But the stories with the humans, cliched and ridiculous and really stupid. And I don't remember the humans subplots in the first two movies being like this. It's just, alright, we've done our serious first one, we've done our actiony second one, let's just go up craziness up to 11. I mean, the craziness just covers for how like predictable and shit the plot is, and how like superfluous a lot of the human stuff is, unless it's the Kong side. Because this little girl can talk to Kong. They've got to transport him away from Godzilla and all that kind of stuff. There's more character interactions and stuff that makes sense. Yeah, this movie's a bit of a mess. And my sister fell asleep watching it. That's not a good sign. She never falls asleep through movies. And I'm watching this, half having a good time, and the other half going, get back to the monsters. The rest of this movie sucks. And I didn't feel that way for the first two. Of course, I just wanted them to get to the monster stuff because that's what you pay to see. But the human element in those movies were fine. What happened? You got 2 hours to tell your story, and sometimes, and most of the time, I'm just like, when are we going to get to the fireworks factory? And we get there, and I'm just like, well, next time could we just take like the straight road rather than taking like the scenic route? Especially since all the scenic route just involves like crap and roadkill. Yeah, it's the first movie I'd seen for a while. Last one was like Wonder Woman 84. And the fact I haven't been able to go to movies that often means going to the movies feels a little bit more special. But when you go to the movies, I don't need this everything I see to be 10 out of 10 perfect bangers. I just want to have a good time. A solid time. I don't need my life changed. I just need to forget for a couple hours. Instead, I was just like, eh, it's a 4. Really poorly written 4 out of 10. It's predictable and boring. The monster stuff looks great, but man, everything else. Oh man. Yeah. So Adam Wingard, the director of this movie, maybe he shouldn't direct another one of these. And they got different writers and stuff too. Dudes, you've got years between flicks to kind of sort this shit out. I know you just want to tell big dumb monster movies, and that's what we want. But you can't make it too big and dumb, because credulity only goes so far. Give me a like, dislike, share, and subscribe, all that stuff.